the bag. Stephen Carr. Let's give him a round of applause.
Damn it. I hope some of you all are drunk by now. Like, are we good? Fantastic. All right, y'all. My dad loves Boy George. Yes. Like, my dad still has the first edition vinyl of Color by Numbers by Culture Club when it came out in 1983, and it is in pristine condition, okay? I always joke with my really straight, butch, blue-collar, like Miller Lite drinking dad, that there are two things in my life that made me gay. And the first one was his taste in music, and the second one was that whenever I was 8 years old, he let me skip school, and he took me to see Spice World the day it came out. Yeah. So you can imagine, as a Boy George lover like my father, what it was like to hear from his son that the Boy George was planning on coming to the newly opened Play nightclub in Louisville to do a DJ set. Like, my dad literally choked on his Miller Lite. And he looked at me and he was like, "We're going, right?" And I said, "Well, Dad, you know, he's not going to be like singing and he's not going to be performing any of his songs. He's like literally going to be sitting in a room playing some music." And he looked at me like I had said the stupidest thing in the entire world. And he said, "Are we going to be in the same room as Boy George?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, I would assume so." And he's, "Well, we're going then." And I said, "Okay." So as an early Father's Day gift to him, I bought us the tickets to go see it. It was actually on Oaks Night a few years ago, right whenever Play first opened. And he shows up to pick me up, and he's dressed really nicely in these fitted jeans and this button-up shirt that, of course, I bought for him because there are perks to having a gay son. And he picked me up in his big red truck, and we went to dinner at the Mayan Cafe, which was probably like the nicest restaurant he'd ever been in. And then we got to the bar. Now, even though my dad had the gayest taste in music out of any straight man I've ever met in my entire life, and even though my dad was one of the first people that I came out to whenever I was in college, my dad had never been to a gay bar before. So he was very nervous. My dad is kind of introverted and extremely socially awkward. He does not dance in public. He does not like to draw attention to himself, and he certainly does not like to get up in front of people and tell embarrassing stories about himself. I got that from my mom. So we get in, and he's all, shaking, and he's all worried about what's going to happen. And a few Miller Lights in, he's feeling pretty good. I actually get him to watch a drag show. Now, since this is his first gay bar, this is also his first drag show. He didn't know what the hell he was signing up for. But I don't know if it was by the grace of God or the grace of Miller Lite, but he actually tipped a drag queen. It was one of the proudest nights of my life. And so after he did that, he was like, "You know what, like, how much worse can this get? It's not going to get any scarier." So he started lightening up and was like chatting with people, which I was like, "Oh yeah, this is great," until I realized that about this time, all of the gays in the bar are pretty drunk and they are thirsty. You know what I mean? Yes, y'all. For the next hour before the opening act for Boy George's DJ set was me cock-blocking my dad at a gay bar for an hour. It was terrible. It was the most awkward thing for me because these guys are like sashaying on up, and I'm thinking to myself, "Oh God, the outfit, it's too good. I did too much," And they're getting closer and they're starting to say hi, and like, without even thinking about it, I loop my arm around him and I shout, "He's mine!" And then I run off. And, even in the dim light, I'm sure that they could tell that we looked a lot alike. And so they were probably thinking I had some like hardcore daddy issues. But it is Kentucky, you know. And so then it was time, right? We go into the dance area, and there he is, Boy George. And he's got this big red hat on, and he's got a full beard, and he's covered in makeup, looking fabulous. And he gets up and he puts some records on, and my dad lost his shit. Okay? Like, which is funny because this is kind of what my dad losing his shit looks like. Like, my dad doesn't dance, he doesn't, you know, whatever. So my dad did the only thing that he knew how to do. He posted himself up against the wall and he crossed his arms and he started doing this. And he did that for 2.5 hours while Boy George played this music, okay? And when it was done, he was like on cloud 9, and we actually ended up staying at the bar until 3 a.m. I was ready to go at 1:30, but he was not ready to leave because he was going to be damned if he left before Boy George was finished. And even when he was finished, and I said, Dad, like, it's late, it's time to go, his response to that was, well, why don't we go to the show bar first? And I'm like, this is his first time at a gay bar, and he's already calling the place where the drag queens roam the show bar. What the hell is up with that? Thanks.